Imagine pouring your heart into a blockbuster film, only to face a tsunami of public scorn and critical backlash. Now, years later, reflecting on it with wisdom and a smile. That's the rollercoaster story of the actors behind 1997's Batman Robin, who endured the chaos of promotion amidst widespread hatred. But here's where it gets interesting. Have they forgiven the film, or does its legacy still sting? Let's dive in and uncover the untold side of this infamous flop. Batman Robin, the 1997 superhero flick directed by the late Joel Schumacher, is often hailed as the absolute worst in the Batman film series. Fans and critics alike have ranked it at the bottom for reasons we'll break down simply. Think over-the-top performances, a wildly campy vibe that felt more like a comedy gone wrong, and storylines that didn't quite hit the mark. Starring George Clooney as the Caped Crusader, Arnold Schwarzenegger as the icy villain Mr. Freeze, Uma Thurman as the seductive Poison Ivy, Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl, and Chris O'Donnell as Robin. The movie bombed at the box office and left audiences divided. Fast forward nearly 3 decades, and Silverstone and O'Donnell are looking back with a philosophical eye, sharing their memories in a candid chat with Entertainment Weekly. They talked about the challenges of shooting scenes without a full grasp of how the special effects would blend in, only to hit the press tour where journalists were relentlessly probing for flaws. It was like walking into a storm of negativity. Suddenly, the reviews started rolling in, and it became clear things were spiraling out of control, O'Donnell recalled. There was this immense dislike for the film upon release. It was overwhelming. And yet, you still have to fulfill your role and champion the project. I remember Joel Schumacher eventually waving the white flag, saying, "I'm done. I can't keep going." He was utterly devastated by it all. O'Donnell added that it was hard for everyone involved to stomach, but now he sees the silver lining. "We were fortunate to be part of it, and honestly, it was enjoyable in its own way. Some projects succeed, others don't. That's just how the cookie crumbles." Silverstone, who snagged a Razzie Award for Worst Supporting Actress. That's the Golden Raspberry Awards, a fun satirical counterpart to the Oscars given out for the year's biggest flops, helping to highlight films that miss the mark in entertaining ways, now notes a shift in public opinion. "Batgirl has had a renaissance," she exclaimed. At the time, it wasn't widely adored. But over the years, folks have come up to me saying it's their go-to favourite. Especially all my LGBTQ+ friends. They love its campy flair. And here's the part most people miss. The film's exaggerated style, often criticised as cheesy, has found a niche audience who appreciate it for its unapologetic absurdity, turning what was once a punchline into a cult classic. Adding to the mix, Uma Thurman once described Batman Robin as the one truly crafted for kids, which sparks some debate given the movie's notorious focus on rubber nipples on the batsuit, a detail that became synonymous with its over-the-top aesthetic. George Clooney himself admitted in a 2014 Rolling Stone interview that he wasn't a fan. "I wasn't pleased with those nipples on the costume. You don't really ponder that while suiting up. I suppose Batman just felt perpetually chilly." This element, meant to add sensuality, has fueled endless discussions. Some see it as harmless fun, others as a misguided attempt at adult appeal in a family franchise. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this be why the film alienated traditional Batman fans, who expect darker, more serious tales of justice? The fallout from Batman Robin's flop was significant. Batman movies took a nearly 10-year break until Christopher Nolan's acclaimed Dark Knight trilogy breathed new life into the character, with Christian Bale donning the cowl. Then came Zack Snyder's DC Universe reboot, kicking off with 2016's Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, starring Ben Affleck. In recent times, Robert Pattinson has embodied the Dark Knight in Matt Reeves' gritty epic crime saga, with the sequel, The Batman 2, slated for October 1st. 2027. Meanwhile, James Gunn is spearheading another DCU refresh, though he hasn't revealed his Batman for the upcoming The Brave and the Bold. Photo by Ron Galella, Limited. Ron Galella Collection via Getty Images. Wesley is Director, News at IGN. Find him on Twitter at @YP100. You can reach Wesley at Wesley_Yinpool at IGN.com or confidentially at YP100 @Proton.me. In this article, what do you think? Is Batman Robin unfairly maligned? Or does it deserve its reputation as a disaster? Do you see the campy elements as ahead of their time, or just plain silly? And should films like this be judged by their initial reception, or their lasting cultural impact? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with the actors' reflections, or do you have a counterpoint? Let's discuss.